one and all, sisters, brothers, fathers, mothers, to another one of my special wizard tales.
Jungle Girl and the Lost Island of the Dinosaurs. In the year 1900, Emma Cooper, a 12-year-old English girl, was stuck on the island of Little Vanuatu in the middle of the vast South Pacific Ocean. Emma longed to return to England and see her friends, but her father, William, was the manager of the rubber plantation, and there she had to stay.
Daddy, can we please go home?
She begged her father. William sighed. He was sad his daughter didn't share his love of adventure and exotic places, but they were stuck on Little Vanuatu until he received orders to return home. And then one happy day, William's long-awaited order finally arrived.
Home to England immediately! Oh, this is wonderful!
Cried the delighted Emma. Father and daughter hurriedly packed so they could catch the mailboat to Big Vanuatu Island and then the liner to England. If they missed the liner, there wouldn't be another one for 6 months. Emma and William rushed down to the wharf, but Jack, the mailboat's captain, refused to sail.
Barometer's dropping like a brick. The wind swung around too. Big storm coming.
He growled. Poor Emma was desperate to get to Big Vanuatu and catch the liner to England. She pleaded with her father, and he offered Captain Jack a lot of money to take them straight away.
Well, why didn't you say so before? Come on, let's get moving,
replied the greedy captain. So the little boat set off on the 6-hour trip to Big Vanuatu. The storm struck in the middle of the night. The tiny boat was pounded by massive waves. William, Emma, Captain Jack and Terry, the mate, were thrown around inside. Suddenly, one of the cases broke free and smashed into William's leg. "Ugh!" cried Emma's father as he clutched his leg. And the little boat battled on through the terrible storm. The next morning found the battered mailboat washed up on the reef of an uncharted tropical island. The shore was still a little way off, and someone would have to swim across and attach a rope. Jack and Terry couldn't swim, and William's leg was broken. Emma was a good swimmer, so her father asked her to go.
But there'll be sharks and snakes and crocodiles,
cried the scared girl. But they had no choice, so Emma changed into her swimming costume and dived into the sea. As Emma swam towards the beach, a dark shape cruised below her. It was a shark, and it was about to attack. Unaware of the danger, Emma made it to the shore just in time. She tied the rope to a coconut palm and started swimming back towards the boat. This time, the shark was waiting. It opened its huge mouth and lunged at the defenseless girl. Just as the hungry shark reached Emma, another creature zoomed up and slapped the shark with its tail. It was Beano the dolphin. He saved Emma's life, although she had no idea. All Emma knew was that she had completed her swim.
I did it!
She proudly called to her father. Using the rope, Emma and her injured father pulled themselves across to the beach. When they left the boat, Captain Jack and Terry, who were really a pair of crooks, broke open William's suitcase. Inside it, they found a book.
This looks interesting. Island legends.
Said Jack. As they looked at the book, the two men realized one of the island legends was about the very island they were stuck on. The legend of the golden monkey said there was a priceless golden statue hidden in a cave on the island. Jack and Terry were convinced they could find it.
rich! We're rich!
cried Terry. But someone wasn't happy at this news. Beano the dolphin was swimming nearby and had heard the whole story. He knew Jack and Terry were about to cause a disaster. Jack and Terry made their way ashore, determined to find the treasure and keep it for themselves. They told Emma and her father they were looking for food and disappeared into the jungle. But William was suspicious.
I don't trust those men.
He said. William asked his daughter to use the rope to cross back to the boat and bring him back his sword, just in case. As Emma was crossing, the rope gave way and she plunged into the sea. Emma struggled to the surface and was shocked to see a smiling face in the water next to her. It was Beano.
Don't be afraid,
he said. A talking dolphin. Emma was amazed. Even more so when Beano told her about the golden monkey and explained that if Jack and Terry stole it from its cave, terrible things would happen.
You must stop them, Emma, or every creature on the island will perish.
He pleaded, and Emma agreed to help. Emma left her injured father in a shelter on the beach and headed into the jungle after the two sailors. Meanwhile, Jack and Terry had spotted the Golden Monkey Cave. To reach the cave, they had to cross a lake, but the lake was full of crocodiles, so the two sailors started to build a raft. Emma struggled through the jungle as fast as she could until a beautiful toucan swooped down on her. "Rock! Rock!" squawked the toucan. Scared Emma shooed it aside, but straight away a naughty chimpanzee stole her hat. "Woo! Woo!" screamed the chimp. Before Emma could get her hat back, an enormous green snake reared up in front of her. Hissed the snake. It was too much for Emma, and she ran terrified from the jungle. Back on the beach, sad Emma told Beano she had failed in her mission. Beano understood and knew there was only one thing to do.
You must ask the animals for help,
said the dolphin. Naturally enough, Emma was puzzled. She thought it was impossible for humans to talk to animals until Beano pointed out she was talking to a dolphin. Beano recited a magic rhyme to Emma.
Let there be magic, and through my hand, all the animals will understand.
Beano assured Emma the magic would work on all animals except crocodiles and dinosaurs. Brave Emma turned back towards the jungle. She spotted the toucan and recited Beano's line. The toucan immediately stopped his flapping and told Emma his name was Samson. Emma introduced herself and then told Samson about Jack and Terry wanting to steal the golden monkey.
"Steal the golden monkey? Ah, that's terrible,"
said Samson. Soon the chimpanzee and the snake arrived. Emma repeated the dolphin's words, and sure enough, the animals understood her. The chimp was called Chuntee and the snake Zelinka. Before they set off after the golden monkey, the animals decided to make Emma some new clothes, as her old ones were torn and ruined. Samson and Zelinka found the right leaves and vines, and Chuntee sewed a special swimming costume for Emma. Emma loved her jungle girl costume, and so did the animals.
"It's beautiful,"
said Samson. Meanwhile, Jack and Terry had paddled their raft across the crocodile-filled lake.
This is it! The cave of the golden monkey! Come on!
Cried Jack. The two crooks crept inside, and there, glowing in the darkness of the cave, sat the precious golden monkey. Jack prepared to snatch it up, but Terry was scared.
The book says bad things will happen to the island if it's moved.
He wailed. But Jack didn't care. He snatched up the statue and prepared to run outside. Before Jack could move, the cave began to shake like an earthquake. Both men were terrified.
Run for it!
Screamed Jack. But outside it was no better. The ground rumbled, fierce winds blew up, and storms gathered. Back in the jungle, the animals knew exactly what had happened.
I found it.
Cried Chuntee.
Let's get out of here.
Yelled Zelinka. The animals were terrified because they knew what was happening. Suddenly, the ground heaved and huge dark shapes began emerging from everywhere. Emma saw what they were. She screamed and ran away as fast as she could. The enormous creatures crashed through the jungle. They pushed over trees and trampled everything in their path. Emma then realized something terrible. The creatures were heading towards the beach.
Father!
She cried. Breathless, Emma arrived at the beach. Her father's shelter was smashed to bits by the dinosaurs, and there was no sign of him anywhere. Poor Emma had a dreadful feeling that her father was dead. The animals tried to make Emma feel better about her missing father,
I'm sure he'll be all right.
said Samson. Even though Emma was sad, Beano knew there was no time to spare. He knew Emma would somehow have to get the idol back, or the whole island would explode. Before Jack and Terry could get back to the boat, they had to retie the rope to the coconut palm. While they were doing this, Emma quietly took the golden monkey out of its bag and replaced it with a heavy rock. As Jack and Terry hauled themselves back to the boat, the captain made his plan.
The next high tide will lift us off this reef and we'll be away with our beautiful monkey.
Jack was so pleased with himself, he glanced into the bag. But the idol was gone.
No!
He cried. Just then, Samson untied the rope and the two sailors fell into the water. With the golden monkey inside a basket strapped to her back, Emma ran through the jungle as fast as she could. Samson, Chuntee, and Zelinka sped along beside her. Suddenly, they stopped. There, right in front of them, were two enormous dinosaurs. There seemed to be no way around, but brave Emma knew what to do.
This way!
She whispered. And so the girl, the monkey, and the snake silently crept between the legs of the huge beasts. They almost made it, but at the last moment, one of the dinosaurs heard them. Just as the dinosaur was about to turn the three friends into his dinner, brave Samson fluttered down in front of his face. Cried the bird as he fluttered around and around the dinosaur's head. While Samson distracted the giant lizard, Emma, Chuntee, and Zelinka raced to safety. But they weren't safe for long. Another gigantic dinosaur had spotted them. Cried the huge beast as it charged towards them. There seemed to be no way out, but clever Chuntee the chimp had other ideas. From a high tree above Emma, he dropped down a thick jungle vine.
Climb!
Ordered the chimp. Emma climbed up the rope and Zelinka slithered. Chuntee then showed them how to use the vines to swing from tree to tree. Emma and Zelinka were a little scared, but they soon got the hang of it. In no time at all, they were swinging through the trees, leaving the dinosaurs far behind. At last, Emma, Samson, Chuntee, and Zelinka made it to the lake. They found Jack and Terry's raft and began to paddle across.
Hurry, Emma!
Cried Samson. And the toucan was right. Time was running out. The volcano at the center of the island was beginning to erupt, and soon the entire place would explode. Just as they were about to reach the far side, another enormous dinosaur reared up, this time out of the water. It made a huge wave, and the raft was overturned. The dinosaur started swimming towards the terrified friends. When it saw the terrible fiery volcano, the enormous creature sank back down beneath the water. Emma and her friends finally made it to the other side of the lake. Clutching the golden monkey, they raced off towards the cave. The ground was shaking and red-hot lava was flowing down the side of the volcano, straight towards the cave. There wasn't much time. "Come on!" cried the brave girl. Emma stumbled her way into the cave, and using all her strength, she managed to put the golden monkey back onto its pedestal. The rumbling and shaking immediately faded away, and the red-hot lava instantly cooled down. The dinosaurs all stopped their roaring and started to calmly walk back to the places from where they had emerged.
You did it, Emma! You did it!
Cried the delighted Chuntee. And so Emma and her relieved friends walked out of the cave. They headed back down to the beach, pleased with what they had achieved, but sad because Emma's father had still not been found. When they arrived back at the beach, Emma was dismayed to find Jack and Terry.
Well, 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 look who it is.
Snarled the captain. It was obvious that the two crooked sailors were up to no good, but before they could do anything, Emma cried out, "Father!" And sure enough, there stood her father, William, alive and well. The tide was high, and it was time to leave the island. Emma wished her wonderful animal friends goodbye, and guided by Beano, the little boat headed through the reef and out to sea again. William steered while keeping a close eye on Jack and Terry. Soon, Emma spotted something.
Father! Over there! A ship!
Cried the excited girl. It was the liner from Big Vanuatu, bound for England. Emma would be going home after all. As William and his daughter boarded the liner, Emma said goodbye to her dolphin friend.
Thank you, Beano. You've been the best friend I could ever have.
Beano smiled and swam off. He had a feeling he'd be seeing Emma again. The liner steamed towards England, and the sun began to sink into the vast Pacific Ocean. Emma confessed to her delighted father that she hoped someday they would return to this wonderful place, so she could again meet up with her friends and live a life of adventure.
Thus another fine wizard tale concludes. Sisters, brothers, fathers, mothers, join me again soon for another classic tale. Won't you?